Heyo.
Hey.
Live.
And we're live, guys. Welcome back to the only stupid answers Game of Thrones review. Forgot what we were doing.
Good.
Solid opening. Don't worry, this is for the special people. So they get all the bloopers and the mess ups.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about episode 2 of season 7 of Game of Thrones, Stormborn.
That's correct.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to sum it up for the kids at home. Here we go.
Because Sam is our Game of Thrones expert, having watched how many episodes of season 1?
Not 10.
Yeah, you didn't get through the first season, dude.
I got the 6 episodes, and those are God, guys. Why do they full hours? Like last night, it was like an hour and 6 minutes, and I was like,
"Hey, when you get to the end of season 1, you'll be hooked. You'll be on it. You'll be great."
I will say, Tyrion's making me want to come back and watch more.
Tyrion's good. Yeah, Tyrion's good. Yeah. So you're our Game of Thrones expert because you haven't even finished season 1 yet. So Sam, give us your summary of what you thought of this episode.
Well, with a little knowledge of season 1, a lot of these scenes made a lot more sense to me. Everyone's plotting to kill Cersei, which is awesome. And then Khaleesi brought up her brother, which I'm so glad that he's probably dead by now.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to that point. I hope he dies in a really vicious way. The team's plotting. It feels like the evil Avengers are planning to kill the evil queen. Everyone's a bad guy in this. Her brother was a piece of shit. Varys sold Daenerys to Khal Drogo. I'm like, there's some shit that I don't understand right now. Varys is a piece of shit. Khaleesi ain't dumb. And I was like, did his parents sell his balls? I'm not gonna go look that up though. And I was like, Khaleesi, please kill no balls. Can he? And I was like, can he use magic to get his balls back? And then I was like, oh, it's the Shadow Girl, the girl who had the shadow crawl out of her, the baby. And I was like, Baratheon, I know that name. People have said that before. Lord of Light, I know what that is now. And what is it? Khaleesi is meant to lead with Jon Snow, whatever the fuck that means. But I'm excited to see Tyrion, Jon Snow, and Khaleesi all in a room together. Little throwback to season 1, wink, wink. I wrote that down because I know what they're talking about.
I like that you wrote the wink, wink to yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't forget. And this is when I got confused. Is Khaleesi's old friend the weird stone man, or is Khaleesi's old friend the eye patch man that's with the hound? Because those two men look almost identical. Are they twins?
They are not twins, and it's the Stone Man.
It's the Stone Man.
Stone Man with the gross pussy things. By the way, still the grossest editing in Sam's segment. That cut to the pie is like, fuck you. I audibly said, fuck you, show.
I did. No, I wrote that. You'll see, I wrote that very
It was
much.
like the poop soup.
Yeah,
I was so happy because I was like, I wish we did more editing with Sam. And I was like, well, never mind.
Yeah, it's tough because when Monica and I grab dinner when we go to watch Game of Thrones, so now I'm like,
No, this season the editors are having way too much fun with the gross and the
I wrote
chicken
that.
pot pie.
I probably wrote that Stone Man is probably gonna die, and that sucks. He's like, okay, because you're nobility, you get 1 extra day to be here. I'm like, hell is hell. Like, it doesn't really matter. You still have him locked up in a cell, and now he's gonna go live at least outdoors.
That's P.S. That's who I wanted Nate to cosplay this year if we
with
did a Game
the
of Thrones
stone?
cosplay.
oh, by the way, how gross was it that his shirt was like sticking to the pussy?
it's all gross.
It's bad. It's so bad.
It's all gross.
Plan to kill the dragons with a giant crossbow. Fucking cool, but I'd rather have the ice dragon that you brought up last time. Fraggle Rock is the key to winning the Iron Chef. I think I'm funny. I wrote that next to it too because I thought that was funny.
I don't even understand what that means.
No, Fraggle Rock. You got to be the Iron Throne, and I couldn't hear what the rock word was. It was like we have to go to Fraggle Rock.
Dragonstone?
Oh, Dragonstone?
No, it was something rock. It's
Casterly Rock.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
And then don't call girls a weakness. That's a fucking shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
I said sweet smooch, dude. Kind of dick move to leave now if that's what you're gonna do. And then I wrote in big caps boobies. I love them. And then I was like, these two are probably gonna die this season.
Yeah.
We don't
Miss
get
and I
happy endings.
has a slamming body.
Yeah.
I'm not into ladies, but man,
Yeah.
She's doing all right.
She's beautiful.
Grey
she's
Worms,
beautiful.
Grey Worm has a nice butt.
We're gonna talk about it later.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, continue, Sam.
I wrote, does he not have a pee-pee or balls or is he a virgin? Because it was so weird what was happening in that
It was
scene.
very weird.
That scene felt like it was from a different episode.
I fucking love that scene. We'll talk about it later.
I wrote to sum it up, "This is cool," period. And I was like, that's what I said during the scenes and Jessica Jones with like,
anytime sexy time things happen, it's like,
this is cool. This is cool. Samuel is a Meister. I now know what that is. Yeah. And I said, wouldn't mind another poop or vomit montage. I enjoyed that. And then it's about to get into what I didn't like. It says, oh shit, Sam is a fucking dumbass because I thought he was about to kill Stone Man. I said, ew, what gave this to him?
Fair question.
I said the pus is super gross and this might not be worth it. I fucking hate that edit. Fucking hated that edit. And then we're back to Arya. Is this another Scooby-Doo reveal? And I miss Ed Sheeran. And we move on. Sansa's in charge, yay! Like that was like a problem that you guys talked about last season. Yeah. I said just kill Dickfinger, please. Winter's coming, and then we got the wolf, and I was like, oh cool, is it Arya's wolf? Because I know what that is. Yeah. And then and I was like, don't be dumb and put your hand out, he's gonna eat it. And I'm like, this is a weird meeting with wild animals if it's not her animal. And I was like, hey, it's Colleen Wing. There's some weird flirting with two women, and then they like, and this guy's watching. I didn't like that. And I was like, I'm guessing Jack Sparrow's back, and he is. Yeah. And he seriously smushed somebody with the drawbridge. I was like, okay, now we're getting this show's got some silly moments with the mask reveal.
At this point, the show is a full-on fantasy show.
Yeah,
like it took 6 seasons to earn it, but now it's like, no,
they got everybody in. And
it was a politics show in the beginning,
and now it's rated R Lord of the Rings. So basically,
I love a good blood fountain written down because that was happening all over. And I started writing down where all the knives went. It was face knife, crotch knife, and then. Hey, I said, hey, men are the fucking worst when they were stealing those women. I'm like, I don't like these scenes. I was like, this is the reason I told you I don't want to watch Game of Thrones because I was like, I don't want rape. And I'm like, that's what's gonna happen here, or something's gonna get close to it. I'm not gonna like it. And I was like, where's Colleen? There's Colleen. She's hanging from the ship. Yeah. Got that Iron Fist money. She don't need this anymore. And then the episode ended.
Yeah, there you go. And that, for those of you at home, that was this episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Couldn't have said it better.
And also, you could not.
I could not.
That's as best as you could do.
There was some Cersei stuff, and I was like, she kind of sounds like, I'm like, is this like a political, whatever, like parallel to Trump? Because she's talking about they're gonna come over and rape you and blah blah blah. I'm like, whatever, and I kind of just like zoned out at that part, and I was like, and then we're back into the fun stuff. Yeah. I realized I don't like Cersei. Is that the general consensus?
Yeah. The general consensus.
Remember when you got real mad because a kid got pushed out a window? Remember who did that?
It was after the boy and the girl had sex.
And who were the boy and the girl?
Cersei and Jamie, the man who I still think is maybe dead. I'm waiting to see if he's a ghost. I feel like I'm not caught up yet.
Wait, Jamie's been dead the whole time? Oh, okay.
I've just thought he's been dead. I'm just waiting to
for the reveal.
Yeah, for the reveal.
Sixth Sense.
Another Scooby-Doo reveal. All right, let's get into it though. You wrote Dany's Dance of Dragons. Dany and Tyrion lay out their master plan, which was really cool.
Yeah,
it was a good plan.
I'm like, man, can Tyrion just like, I know he was the voice of that little AI in Destiny, and I was like, I'd like him to do more voiceover work, please. I would like to hear his voice.
This wizard comes from the moon.
That was hilariously fun. And I love him. I thought it was very interesting in that scene that Tyrion was like, cool. Take Casterly Rock. I don't give a fuck. Because you'd think that Tyrion would still probably have some twinge of like, that's my people's house.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit.
Like he's gonna get it finally because they
maybe that's true.
I liked it because it felt like all our homework for 6 seasons was paying off. Like it felt like, because you got a lot of exposition throughout the show of like what Casterly Rock is and why it means things to people, or what Dragonstone is and why it means stuff to people. And now it's like, oh, this is why it finally matters, because now we're doing these things and it pertains to the end game, and that was incredibly exciting. Yeah, like it got me so excited.
It got me excited too. I don't even know what's happening. I'm like, this is cool.
So I was really like, and also seeing all those characters from like 15 different plot lines all in a room together. It was really neat. Rewarding.
Yeah. This season of Game of Thrones is really bringing together the storylines. I feel like what a lot of people think falls apart in the later books and in the later seasons is that your storylines are so spread out. You spend so many chapters with people who you just don't care about. And you're like, oh, cool. This is the book of people I don't care about. Like, where's the people I care about? And the show's done a really good job of melding those storylines into one, so that when you check on Dany, you're also checking in on now Olenna and Ilaria and Varys and Tyrion and like it's bringing it all together.
Olenna's the one who gave like the advice to Daenerys about like not just like all the men who gave me advice are now dead. So what does that say? And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
like, you're cool.
Olenna's a badass.
Yeah.
She's Diana Rigg, who was in the British Avengers, which has nothing to do with the Marvel.
Oh, Avengers. I know the British Avengers. Yeah.
Emma Peel in that, who was very attractive. But I actually wanted to ask you guys about Olenna's advice because do you think it's good advice or do you think it comes from that place of she's kind of looking for retribution? Because while it is true she's got less men in her life, she's never really been in charge. She's more been on the Tyrion side of things where you're on the edges scheming.
Oh, I think she's always been in charge.
Well, yeah, but like not the figurehead.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
No, she wants to stay alive.
Yeah.
The figurehead gets murdered.
But that's the thing, is that's not the advice she's giving Dany. She's giving Dany like be front and center, kill everybody, basically, is my understanding of
that is what it sounded like.
Maybe it's because she's older now and like maybe she's kind of living vicariously through Dany. That's stuff that I don't know. I'm just gonna assume based on basic psychology 101 that I took.
I think she wants Dany to be strong and not to be led, not to just be the figurehead for a bunch of men plotting. I think that's a motivation, but I 100% agree with you. I think that her main motivation there is revenge, which is probably not the wisest advice.
This show's never dealt with revenge before, has it? No, never once. But Varys, there's a scene with Varys that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you were saying in your little summary that you thought she should kill him.
Yeah, I mean, based on what you guys were saying in like previous, like just stray things I hear, I'm like, this guy sounds like a piece of shit. You were talking about Varys and Littlefinger on the opposite sides of the camp now, and I'm like, why not just kill both of them? Because they sound like they're both pieces of shit. At least Dickfinger. Like,
Dickfinger definitely should die.
He should die.
And I disagree. I feel like Varys and Littlefinger are like owning all the railroads in Monopoly.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I feel like you just want to get them on your side. Then you win the Game of Thrones.
I'm down for killing Dickfinger. I am pro Varys.
Okay, so I don't know enough about him. I did like his scene a lot. It was very interesting.
They are both incredibly interesting, intelligent, manipulative men.
Oh, yes.
And you can hate them for it. You can love them for it. I choose to love them both for it. I think they're both fascinating. What scene was it? Season 1? I forget which season. They were just in a scene together where the two of them just talk. And I was like, this is the best scene in the entire universe. It gave me hardcore lady boner. But yeah, I don't think Varys or Littlefinger should be killed. I went to see them used to their full potential.
No, I agree with that from a storytelling perspective. I think if I were in this world, I would definitely be like, no, Littlefinger's out.
Oh yeah, he's a fucker for sure.
But I really respect Varys.
Smart fucker.
Varys. I really liked their the interaction with Dany, where he said to her, it's like, if you expect me to follow you blindly, don't do that. And her response was perfect, which is like, listen, if you think I'm messing up, don't scheme behind my back. Just tell me to my face.
Which was fair.
Dany went from like one of the best storylines in season 1 to like literally the wilderness for a while. But ever since the end of last season, it's like a new character that I really, she's a little bit too imperious. I think
she is too.
But like moments like that, it's like this girl's getting it done, man. Like I'm all on board with Jon and Dany.
Jon and Dany, like they've seen every wrong decision ever made because this show has gone through all kinds of shit. Yeah, I obviously know. I
think she's still a little too Mad King heiress.
Yeah,
a little bit too much.
And that's kind of why I think that I'm hoping that kind of because I perceive that it's going to be Jon and Dany. I'm on that. I'm in that camp.
I mean, it is.
I think they're going to. I think they'll be a good match. I think he'll mellow her out and then she'll like goose him up a little bit.
I don't know, but she was like, yeah, when he comes here and bends the knee, and I'm like, this is going to be an issue.
Yeah, maybe cool it a little bit.
You want her to cool it a little bit, but at the same time, like, be the badass regent. I get it.
But when Tyrion was like, I met Jon Snow, he's a good. It's like it's so weird.
I was there.
They're only there. They only meet for like 2 episodes, but it's like I can't wait for them to reunite because they had such a good rapport.
They've never. I mean, I'm going to find that, but they've never met again.
After he left the wall. Most of these characters, and that's kind of the beauty of the structure of this whole story is basically every character that matters meets at the beginning, and then they're all flung all over the planet, basically.
Very cool.
And then you're following a bajillion different storylines that while you're hoping the storyline you're following will be wrapped back up, just new characters and new storylines are just being introduced all over
George
the
R.
place.
Martin introduces like 3 times as many other characters in there, and then they've all been weeded out.
But so it's like in like the 5th book, per se, 5th and 6th book, you're like, I don't give a shit about the ancestors. Get me back to Tyrion. I haven't seen Tyrion in a book and a half. What the fuck? It's very frustrating to say the least. But
from there we had Red Lady show up because I was familiar with her. She seemed to be like, and I'm here now. Where'd she come from? Like, is she a leader of somewhere that I don't know about?
Well, she was trying to be like the advisor to somewhere, and it all went very poorly. And then she got kicked out. So now she's shown up here.
Okay, yeah, she's like, you can take me in.
They've seeded that kind of like, again, that's one of those moments where homework paid off, where it's like, because they'd seeded a relationship with the Red Priests in Dany's storyline very briefly.
Yes.
So I'm going to show up like, this is great. And now John's showing up, and no spoilers, but
John hates that lady.
John doesn't hate that lady. Davos hates that lady for very reasonable reasons.
Very good reasons.
So hopefully
maybe for the reason that I think will be your most hated moment in the entire series.
You guys are building that up. I'm getting ready to hate something.
Yeah, so hopefully she's smart enough to go hide in a room while they're there. And just be like, I'm not here.
I'm not here. But from there we had Grey Worm and Missandei.
Missandei.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I spelled that wrong in my notes.
Missandei. You're right. I just didn't read it. They did it, and they did the deed, and it was really, really cool. But you have a question here. It says, now that he's gotten laid, do you think Grey Worm will die soon?
This felt like the classic action movie, like in Braveheart and all those other ones where they get laid right before for some reason that's what male storytellers need to have permission to kill off their main character.
Oh, so sad. Well, that's exactly what happens to women in horror films.
Oh yeah,
you're the virgin until you get laid, and then you get murdered.
It's funny the different context. Like horror movies, it's like that's punishment for guys. It's like that's his last reward before he goes out.
Right. How sick is that? But good job, Grey Worm. Good job, Missandei. This scene was fascinating. It did feel like it was part of a different show.
Yeah, it's suddenly like this doesn't pertain to anything else. Here we go.
I thought for sure the entire time, as gross as it would have been, I was like, are they going to show it? Are they going to show it? Are they going to show it? I was because Game of Thrones shows shit that no other show shows.
Yeah, Pop High.
And Pop High. Indeed.
I was about to drink my coffee.
So Grey Worm is a eunuch.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes. Okay. However ambiguous of to what pieces have been removed.
Although, don't they have the pillars and stones conversation with him? I couldn't remember if it was him or
Pillars and stones.
They have it with everybody that's a eunuch. But neither one is ever resolved.
I think that they are resolved. I thought that the answer was yes. They take the pillars on this. They take the pillar and the stones. Yes. Right. Maybe I'm remembering something from the books. But I'm pretty sure the answer yes. There's nothing there.
How would they take the pillar?
It's the ones you'll see.
So Grey Worm is an Unsullied, and the Unsullied, as part of their training, that's taken from them all, so that they don't have other motivations. They're primarily there as combat vehicles. So he doesn't like, and he's never been allowed to love. And then he talks about like, you're my weakness, which sounds shitty at first. I agree, but it's because again, the way that the Unsullied are trained, like he was saying, if you have a fear of dogs, you have to sleep with the dogs. If you have a fear of drowning, they just throw you in, and if you die, great. Because then you're not a weakness to the Unsullied army. And if you get through it, great. You've gotten over your fear.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It was a cool, like, little analogy. Also, but true, like, I don't know, like, I didn't know who the character was. And I don't know where he's from. But just hearing, you're my weakness. And I was like, that's a fucking, I mean, I would be like, and I'm gone. All right.
Yeah,
but I know.
It came out weird.
It's a different world. But really cool scene. Also, he went down, he used mouth stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got, like, the hint that, like, he probably can't. That's what he's got. That's what he can do.
I'm a little relieved and also a little disappointed that we didn't see it.
I get that.
Have you seen that?
I do like the reaction.
No. Okay. You were like, we got it. It's the last season.
Curious.
I do, and I do like that.
We'll Google it later.
How did it be? I mean, I don't know.
The acceptance she has for him, despite his situation, and also probably because of the things she's been through, she's not necessarily looking for that.
Fact.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Fact.
is cool.
Nevertheless,
it was
I love
cool.
their love.
But also, what do we think of Danny's plan, Daenerys's plan? Is this good?
I thought it was a good plan until the end, and then it seems like
now
maybe
it's
not
fucked.
a good plan.
Now it's fucked. It was a good plan
Yeah.
when she had a fleet.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't have a fleet, so oops.
It was just there to get her over.
Which sucks because I mean, if you think about how many Lannisters are left, there are not many.
Yeah.
So if the Lannisters are defending King's Landing,
Yeah.
reasonable to assume Casterly Rock would be a pretty easy take,
Yeah.
and it would piss off Cersei like nobody's business, which is why I think it would be a great plan.
There's 7 kingdoms. How many were in that room? If you were to guess, like 4?
40? Well, I mean, no, technically just
Dorne?
2 because you give Dorne and then
Tyrells.
Yeah.
And then Dragonstone, I guess, is 1.
No,
or does that
I
not
don't think
count?
so. I don't think that
count?
counts.
I would
Oh,
count
okay.
the Targaryens. Yeah. I would
Well, but
count
they're
them.
not part of the 7 kingdoms, at least as we.
Interesting.
I'd have to look at the map.
It just
Yeah.
seemed like there was a lot of power in that room, and
There
was.
I couldn't quite
Well,
count how
this
many
episode
leaders.
Did a really good job of illustrating because, especially at the end of last season, with all the might Dany was mobilizing in Westeros, it's like how is this even a fight with Cersei? How is this not like 2 episodes and she's out? And so then not only them trying to explain how we need to make it look like it's not an invading army, great. But the other great part is seeing Cersei's counterpoint, how she's mobilizing the houses by using actual events that happened.
Yeah.
Like Dany did, we saw from her perspective. So we were kind of on
I mean,
board.
she did burn a bunch of people.
She did burn a bunch of people. She crucified
Were
a bunch
they?
of people. She did break deals. They were all assholes. She
That's-
broke
I
deals and
figured.
crucified assholes, but it's still like
You
you could flip it. Like you could and so I really liked
Especially when they
that.
know the history of Mad King Aerys and how he
Mhm.
burned good people. She's
Yeah.
like, see, she burns people too.
and the guy she was pitching it to that Jamie went to have his whole like
Sam's
that's
dad.
Sam's dad. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got that from the flashback. I was like,
Okay.
"Hey, Sam's dad. I know that.
So
Very
that was
cool.
that was
Nice
really
to meet you,
cool.
sir."
Yeah, and then at the end of the episode, which we'll obviously get to, then it's kind of seemed like, oh, maybe this isn't as one-sided as I thought.
Mhm.
No, the Iron Fleet
Yeah.
was very terrifying. But also, you had Jamie talking with some people. He was doing some backhanded. It felt like
Yeah, he was trying to make it happen. I mean,
Yeah.
he's trying to do the follow through on what Cersei set up because I think he knows that people don't trust Cersei. So understandably.
After she blew up half her kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, she straight up did and
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck that her child committed suicide over it. Anyway,
No.
yeah, so he was just trying.
Oh no,
to,
I've seen that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was just trying to follow through and make sure it was a done deal. At least
Yeah.
that's what I got from that scene.
Jamie, for his own health, needs to pick a side, and by pick a side, I mean other than Cersei. He needs to not.
Mhm.
But
he needs to stop
Cersei
backing
has
Cersei.
always been his main motivator.
know. She's his weakness.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, he could leave. He should leave. Whatever. But so you're saying that Cersei has a chance to like maybe actually not win, but at least like hold off.
She
some of the
also
army?
has the mountain.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Zombie
she has a-
Mountain.
Zombie Mountain, which you haven't gotten a lot of yet. But it's
Zombie
terrifying.
Mountain.
Yeah,
That sounds.
you'll get
No,
there.
I've met the mountain, but
Yeah.
I haven't met Zombie Mountain.
Yeah, it's a long story. You'll get there. But here's the other thing. It's who's her Meister that's now her hand? The crazy
Qyburn.
Frankenstein.
Qyburn.
Qyburn.
Yeah.
So one, crossbows a little underwhelming.
It went
Like,
through
we
the
have a
It did
skull.
go
Like,
through the skull,
it did
but it
go
was
through
an
the skull,
old
but also,
skull
like-
and no like skin.
And also like, how do you aim them? And you have to mass produce them. It's just I expected a little from the guy that gave us Zombie Mountain spoilers. I expected more. I am wondering because my whole projection for next 2 seasons was this season was dealing with Cersei, next season's dealing with the Night's King. Could Cersei get so desperate that she makes a deal with the Night's King? Like she throws in with the Night's King to like try and because she's not above.
Oh, she
going
totally
to-
would.
Yeah, but like that would involve her finding out that he exists.
Yeah.
Getting somebody to him. But it was one of those like once Qyburn's like, ooh, we've got plans. I expected something a little more mystical, and I was like, I mean,
Maybe the arrows are zombified.
maybe it could become the Night's Queen.
Interesting.
I don't know how that would play out. I'm just saying it occurred to me.
I don't know what that means, but then we moved on to Sam doing the really grossest. That's one of the grossest things I've seen on TV in a long time. He was scraping off a chunk of it. Oh, so much pus and shit. Like
Yeah, it was real gross. But it made me happy because Jorah's maybe gonna live.
Yeah.
maybe.
I think he is.
I also really appreciate the show not doing a cop out and having it be magic that fixes them.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's a very big redeeming moment for Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Sam's gonna do something no other Maester has been able to do.
Yeah.
And also his teacher, which I'm blanking on the actor's name, which I love the actor, but I love his rapport. Like his teacher does not give a shit about what Sam thinks at all, which is really cool. And also I love like the moment where it's like, well, someone's healed him. And he's like, okay, well, how'd that guy die? Yeah. And he's like, he got skull and grayscale. I was like, all right, you don't need to be a dick about it, but fine.
I even though I hated that cut very much, I liked it.
I paused my TV because I was like,
there actually is a medical procedure.
I legit cheered.
Yeah.
There actually is a medical procedure where you cut off the skin and I guess
make a pot pie
so it doesn't and get infected, because I don't know how you keep that thing from getting infected. But I hope it works out. I love the idea. It's so weird that now, of all people, Jordan and Sam are hanging out.
Like, I was a little bummed that it wasn't your dragon glass theory.
Yeah, I mean,
I was real stoked for it to be that.
That's what cares. Yeah, was it?
Especially because Sam brought it up.
Yeah.
He brings up that
But again, that'd be a little bit magical. Maybe if you cut off the dragon.
I thought if you cut off the skin with the dragon glass was my.
So a little magic, little medical.
Yeah,
you get a little mix of both. I can't not think of that crunch of the pie. That's real bad. Anyways, we got Arya and she's in this tavern. And
hats off, editors.
You catch up. You find out where that pie is, which is great. And you have Arya hanging out with her friend.
Yeah.
I love hot pie. We were the people I was watching with. We were like, I cannot believe he's still alive.
Yeah,
like kudos to
he's just living the dream, man. He's cooking. He's happy.
It's all he ever wanted. He's make pies.
He's the flip side of everybody else's story. I liked his whole like you and me are the same. We're survivors. And I thought like instantly an axe like going through his head. And
I know. Everyone was like, well, now hot pie's gonna die. No.
I hope the last shot is just of him serving of the whole series, just him just serving pie. Like, hey man.
Hot pie.
Like on the Iron Throne. On the Iron Throne. They're gonna eat it off the Iron Throne. What else happened in the scene of any note? Like, I'm guessing this friend has not been seen for a few seasons.
He's not been seen for a long time, and it made me very happy. Again, Arya's so basically in Terminator mode that to have her be like, you know what, I am going to go to Westeros. It's one of those that like, it's a different flavor of the show. Like, it's like somebody's going back. I don't know if by the end of the episode she's still going back.
What, to Winterfell?
Yeah, to Winterfell?
I think she is going to Winterfell. Good. I think you see Ed Sheeran and his people going south further to King's Landing, and she makes the choice to turn around and go the other way.
Now, this also brought something that I've heard book people bring up a lot, wanting to catch back up with Nymeria, have Nymeria back. We finally got that.
Yes.
Trisha, I wanted to know what you thought about the Nymeria reunion.
I thought it was well played, I should say, because I actually did watch the after talk this time, which I'm assuming you guys did.
I did too.
For anyone who didn't, kind of what they were saying was that Nymeria, well, okay, so the dire wolves and their Stark children counterparts are very similar. They're tied together. It's alluded to the fact that it's a magical telepathic tie, but never actually said.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's. I think in the books, it's a little more clear that that's what's happening in the series.
I did not get that idea in the show.
Okay, so it's more than one child has dreams where they're a wolf.
Interesting.
In the books.
Interesting.
So anyway, so you want to see them reunited. We have this feeling from the first book that when the wolf dies, the person dies, which has not happened with Lady and Sansa. That's cool. Yeah. But it would be a big deal to see a Stark child reunited with their wolf.
Because there's not a lot. There can't be a lot left.
It's Nymeria and Ghost, basically.
There's not a lot left. Shaggy Dog's dead. Yeah, a lot of them are dead. But yeah, so when she encounters Nymeria, you're like, yes, like they're going to be the warrior team together. But in the after talks, they were saying that, Arya has never been domesticated. And there's a scene in season 1 where, what is the line that she says, that's not for me? Or something
where
Ned's
like talking about like, you're going to marry the Lord and you're going to.
Like, don't worry, you'll be taken care of. And she's really young. And she's like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
And so she has a recollection of that moment when she's with Nymeria, because Nymeria has now become her own warrior. She doesn't want to be a domesticated wolf.
Yeah.
And she chooses
is that what that's
to go
happening?
her own way.
Yeah, so
it literally is her wolf, because like from my point of view, because I figured it's her. Her wolf. And I was just like, what the fuck's happening?
When she says that's not you, it's calling back to that line from season 1. So
I was like, you've just been staring at an animal and you're like, shit, that's not my dog. Like, you're like, oh, god damn it,
that would be
not my
scary.
dog.
But also when you think about the potential telepathic magical ties between them, it makes a lot more sense that she's able to converse with this dire wolf.
Hopefully there's a line in like an episode or two where you're like, I ran into my dog, also kind of spoke with him in my head. He's doing okay.
No, I was very happy because I know a lot of people wanted Nymeria to come back and then team up, but I was just like, that didn't make sense for me. That didn't track for me. Like, because again, because I didn't get the sense that there's some, I thought it was more like a slightly escalated boy and his dog situation. That it's like, when that wolf has been out being a wolf, it's not going to come back. Like, it's not gonna, that doesn't make any sense to me. And so the fact that she had that moment and it meant something to the character, it worked out perfectly for me. I really like the way they played that out.
I did. I don't know. The wolf star children tie makes a lot of sense to me, and it might be something that a lot of fans are just, you know, coincidentally pairing together. But like, for example, when Lady was murdered, that's when Sansa was essentially sold to Joffrey and broken. Like they just kind of all parallel.
I don't want Ghost to die. I want at least
because you don't want John to die.
Well, no, I just want, well, he already did. John already did. Spoilers.
Hey,
but I want at least one direwolf to stick around just because they're cool. They're cool as hell. And hopefully Nymeria just keeps doing her thing. Her and Hot Pie, man. Nymeria and Hot Pie, they're just out there doing their thing.
She hunts, brings the food to him, he makes the pies. There you go.
Perfect.
Easy peasy. But while this was...
Speaking of making the pies, I'm sorry, I loved when Arya was like, how'd you make it taste so good? He's like, brown the butter first. And she was like, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's like, remaking pies. He's like, a few.
That was
She's so like, her and Dany seem the most from like last season to this season, like a switch has flipped and they're in like,
go mode.
Fuck everybody mode.
Full go mode.
I enjoy it. So that makes me not excited to watch those seasons. But at least I'm going to be working towards them being badasses. While the wolf scene was confusing for me, I did like the next scene of Jon planning to go meet Tyrion and Dany, because you got Raven, and now I've seen a three-eyed Raven because it finally popped up in the first season. So I'll assume that that's what happened. But anyways, I'm excited to see Jon go down to Dragonstone to meet with them. And also Sansa's in charge now, which is... could be good, could be bad, but also little dick finger. He almost died. I was like, you're so close to dying.
Well, and the thing is, Jon, you just can't straight kill him because he's in charge of the Riverlands now. So there will be consequences to that.
And he was right when he was like, I saved your ass in that battle. Like, you would have died. You're welcome. And I'm like, you ain't wrong.
You're not wrong. But I'm interested to see how that. I'm glad. Jon is going, because we've had so many seasons of like, here's why the characters will never connect, and now we're finally getting to like, no, it's happening.
See, and I'm as part of me is like, yay, they're finally connecting. The other part of me is like, I'm a little disappointed they're connecting, because it's like, I don't know, when you want two characters to get together forever on a show and then they finally do, then like the show's not as good anymore. You don't have that thing to root for, and I kind of feel that way about this meetup.
Interesting. I get that. I could see that.
I do.
I'm also very interested to see. I like the resolution because, again, I want Sansa and Jon to be friends. I like the resolution of him putting her in charge, because it just makes sense. For
it does make sense.
And seeing her be a badass ruler as well. Although I am a little worried about. I'm assuming her central conflict will be around Littlefinger.
Oh, totally.
And I don't like him.
And see, and I'm kind of excited to see how Littlefinger plays it.
I don't want to see them kiss anymore.
Unless it's strategic on Sansa's part.
Nope. I don't want that.
See, and I'm okay with that. Play the game, girl. You play that game.
She's playing the game. She's got that army.
She learned how to play the Game of Thrones from Littlefinger, really. Keep playing that game, girl.
DJ really doesn't.
Kiss an old man. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't like it. I don't need it.
That was creepy when he straight up admitted, I love Sansa like I love your mother. To Jon.
What are you doing, guy?
What?
You know what, though? It's interesting that you brought that up, because
he straight up admitted it.
Yeah, and that also kind of seems very unstrategic, which is surprising for him. So I wonder if, talking about people being their weakness, I wonder if Sansa's his blind spot. Like, he thinks like,
maybe I
can get this girl, I can wrap around my finger, and because that's what I want to see. I want to see her play him. I want to see him be like, I got this, and then it flips, and Sansa's like, no, you never did, you idiot.
I would like to see that too. But then at the last second, Littlefinger is going to be like, I knew the whole time. Littlefinger.
Classic dick finger. But how do you guys think the first meeting between Jon and Dany is going to go?
Not good.
No, why?
Because she's too, listen, you got to be my bitch.
Mhm.
And he's too like, I can't let down the people who just named me king in the north. I can't be your bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I think if Jon was up to his own devices, he'd be like, sure, whatever, bend the knee, let's kill the White Walkers.
Yeah.
But because of the pressure he has from everyone in Winterfell, I don't know that he can do that.
I agree with you, and I also think it's too soon for. I'm glad that they're meeting because it gives another what's essentially a season of the show normally to develop their relationship with each other.
Mhm.
But it can't be all sunshine and roses right off the bat. Like there's got to be, and especially like any good. Not to say that it is definitely going to go this way, but any romantic story, like you've got to have that initial conflict because that's what makes a good, at least TV relationship, is the idea of opposites attracting and completing each other and stuff like that. So there's got to be more tension.
I'm also not sold that it's going to be romantic. I know that's what Targaryens do, but I feel like she might strategically marry Euron just to get stuff for the war, and her and Jon are just going to be like buddies.
Yeah, it may
Danny
be
will
like
marry
allies.
Euron, the
I hope
Iron,
not,
the
'cause
Iron
he's scary.
Fleet guy.
Oh, yeah, maybe. No,
that's what
I
you
was
were saying,
thinking.
so-
Never mind. I was thinking of Cersei marrying Euron, but
Oh,
no, I
okay.
mean, I think Danny might make a political alliance as
Yeah.
far as the
Mm.
marriage, and it might not necessarily be Jon, or it could be Jon to combine the North with everything else.
Yeah.
So is he, just to get a little geography, Winterfell's up north, I know that, but does Winterfell, the kingdom, involve the wall? Like, is it go
Yeah.
that way? Okay, so
The
he's
wall's
the
The
It's
king.
wall is
further
not
north.
in Winterfell.
I know
but
it's further
north.
north, and that
Mhm.
Winterfell is also kind of like a dire, cold place. So I
Yeah.
figured that it's close.
Winterfell is the first kingdom after the wall. So, like, if the Whites came through the wall,
Mhm.
Winterfell would be the first one to have to deal
So-
with it.
Yeah.
So is Jon in charge of Winterfell, or is he in charge of the wall?
Both.
Both. Cool.
Well, yeah, and typically, they're all, the guy in charge of Winterfell is in charge of the wall.
No,
And
no,
just
the
because-
wall has its own Lord Commander.
Okay, that's what I
Because
thought.
Remember,
They're
Commander
not-
Mormont was
they're
in
not-
the beginning?
It's not technically Dolor's Ed in charge of the wall.
Right. Technically,
Yeah.
he's in charge of the wall. But I imagine if Jon were to make a suggestion,
Yeah.
Dolores Ed would probably be pretty
There's
down
nobody.
with
There's
it.
like 5 guys on the wall right,
Right.
now.
Which is a problem.
It's a big
Mhm.
problem.
You're gonna need a few more people. Maybe get a dragon up there. That'd
Yeah.
be cool. Oh, because the dragons can kill them.
Mhm.
I learned that. But moving on, we get to our final scene, and it's so violent, but so kind of cool, but not. Euron killing all the sand snake women.
Yeah,
hmm
which
Yeah.
good.
What does
I
that mean to
kinda
you
like
guys?
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the Sand Snakes, yeah, I mean, they're not, they have not been super likable characters.
I heard they're more likable in the book. Like book.
They're a little
fans
bit more fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when you condense the storyline, they're kind of just drilled down to like, these are a people of revenge.
Yeah.
Everything is about revenge and murder and
Their main character trait
Um,
is they each have a different weapon.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
But
she's the
they're
whip
called
one.
the Sand Snakes because of how deadly they are.
Mhm.
They
pretty
are
deadly.
weapons. They
Yeah.
are deadly. They're conniving. I mean, their mother Ilaria, we see this firsthand with her.
Yeah.
And she has good reason to be pissed off
Mhm.
and to behave the way she does. I don't agree with it. I think
Yeah.
that she maybe takes matters into her own hands and ignores everybody else a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what it is. Regardless, they're a weapon and a people that could have been used on either side. And now it kind of seems like
Nope.
they're disassembled.
Yeah. And so Cersei has a hate on for Ilaria, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah, they don't like each other.
she poisoned her daughter. Oops. And so that.
But Ilaria is going to come up there and be like, yeah, I did it. What?
Yeah. So Euron, I'm
I
assuming.
love that scene.
She 100% will.
So when Euron was talking about a gift, we can now assume that it's
Ilaria's the
Ilaria,
gift.
Which
I feel like he was
which
on
is
his way
fine,
to
'cause-
Tyrion, and then he's like, man,
Yeah.
But now the gift is the fleet and Ilaria.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gift.
It's a pretty good gift.
It's a pretty solid gift.
And
he's great at
it's-
birthdays. Like,
it's
he knows
nice.
exactly what to get. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also nice to see Euron after seasons and seasons or books and books of him talking the talk, him actually being able to show us what
He was
can
terrifying.
Also-
he was killing so many
do. Right,
people.
and we've just seen him be like, I did this, I did that, brag, brag, brag. And you're like, okay, calm down,
Yeah.
sir.
Mhm.
But now you're like, okay, well.
Yeah, and especially with the storm coming behind the ship, it's like that's either great timing on his part, or he's got I don't know. I was just
I think he's just nuts.
yeah.
I think he straight up does not give a shit,
Mhm.
and he just does what he does. And if he dies, who cares?
Mhm.
He's just crazy,
Yeah.
but it's working for him.
What did you think about the return of Reek?
Who is Reek the boy?
Yeah, well, so Theon was. Oh my goodness,
you know Theon in season 1.
Yeah, so you know Theon from season 1, right? He has gone through some things and had his humanity and other things stripped away from him by Ramsay Bolton, who's a character you haven't met yet.
Heard him though.
Yes,
yeah.
You're not gonna like him.
You're not gonna like him.
And so Ramsay forced him to identify himself as Reek. And so he's a beaten dog basically. And he kind of came back, and I liked this because it emphasized the fact that like you don't just fix something like that. You
can't get over something like that. Yeah, it was really sad when you look back at what's her name in the series, Yara.
Yeah.
Her name's Asha in the book, so I always get confused. But when you look back at her face and she has like that one tear because she realizes that Theon's still just so broken.
Yeah.
Like she's effed because she put stock in him and redeeming him, and it's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
Do you think she's dead?
I thought for sure when they showed hanging off the front of the boat that was her. Yeah. But the couple times they went back to it, I was like, I think that was a sand sister. I
think that's Colleen. Sorry, Jessica Henwick. I think that's her character.
I think you're right.
Because she was whip one. She was the whip one.
So I wonder if they put her as part of Cersei's present.
Yeah.
I would like to see her not dead because I think she's a fascinating character. And you were saying about not being so into the lady scene. For those two characters, it makes complete sense.
Oh, okay. No, it was just weird because dude in the back's just like watching. I'm like,
he's
leave
also
the
brother of one of them. So
like I said, no, I'm really not on board with that.
That was when Ilaria's all like, why don't you join? And I was like, oh no, man.
So actually, that actor who plays Theon / Reek is Alfie Allen, who's the brother of British pop sensation Lily Allen.
Really? I didn't know that.
Before Yara, they reached out to Lily Allen, and then the first scene they meet, he gets a little like. He doesn't recognize her.
P.S. It's way worse in the books.
Cool. Well, I'm glad they toned it down. He doesn't realize it's his sister, so he's trying to like mac on her and he touching her and stuff. And Lily Allen read that and she's like, "No, thank you."
Oh, for her to
no, that's okay.
I know, like it's funny that you guys have incest in the show. We don't actually need to do it. So okay, but thank you so much.
Well, and especially if she hadn't read the script, she'd only read that scene in the book.
Yeah.
The book is way more graphic in that scene, which. Again, maybe I'm a horrible human. I fucking loved it. I wish they would have done it in the TV show more like the book because it makes the moment where he realizes who she is so much better.
We all have the things we enjoy. Yeah, I like when the Flash one's around.
It makes that moment where Theon just gets smacked in the face. Like instead of just a whoops, you messed up. It's like someone put a brick in a purse and fucking backhanded him. Moment.
Whoa!
Like it's that big of a difference between his realization of who she is.
He gets beaten up enough in that show.
And
he's still out there.
And it says way more about her character that she 100% knows who he is and just is like, okay.
Yeah.
Gross.
It's amazing.
We have a couple questions. Terry Fournier, shout out to Terry. Hey Terry, how's it going? Will Braun, thank you, come to Tien's rescue and help her escape? Will Gendry fish up Theon on his boat? Are you happy with Arya's choice to go north?
So
3 questions.
Was the third knifey snabby sand.
Okay.
And Braun is Tyrion's. You haven't met Braun yet.
No, Braun's great.
They have a sort of a thing, although again, not super into really old dudes macking on like early 20s teenagers. So no, I don't need Braun to come save Tien.
I would say that Tien was macking on Braun.
She was, but I don't need it. I don't.
Okay.
I'm tired of like.
You don't like it.
The old. It feels like wish fulfillment on the writer's parts. Like I'm 40, so here's a 40-year-old guy getting with an 18-year-old.
See, I would agree with you when it came to like old Maester Aemon, and his ladies. I would agree with that. That was creepy.
Yeah.
I don't mind this age difference.
So you wouldn't mind Braun coming to save Tien?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Braun is so out of the story right now that there's no reason for them to bring him back. I mean, except for the fact that people like him.
I do like him.
Who do you think is going to save Theon? Is he just going to float up to shore and he's somehow going to make it?
Gendry's another character that you probably met but don't really know his importance yet. I'm waiting for Gendry to like factor back into this whole thing. No?
I would be very surprised if it happens.
At all?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's written out of the book super early and is like not an important character at all. And the show has made him an important character by combining his storyline. They say he's got tons of bastards. He's just the only bastard we know about.
They were all killed.
They tried to kill them all.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he's the only bastard left, but what do bastards have in this world? Not much that we've seen unless they're made full.
I want to see Gendry and Arya get together.
So, I mean, I love what the show has done with his character. It's made him a lot more interesting because we have not seen hide nor hair of him for a real long time.
Yeah, since like season 3, or even on the show, it's in season 3.
I think, like, remember how he, Melisandre tries to, like, kill him and then he goes off in a boat?
Yeah.
That's a completely different character in the books.
Interesting.
Like, Gendry is just...
gone.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not important. But, I mean, the show has said it's going to completely deviate from the books and get to the same ending, but in a different way. Maybe their different way will involve Gendry. Maybe. I just, because of that, I tend to not expect him to come back.
What do you think? Well, because I have literally zero idea of what they could possibly do with Reek at this point. I have no idea where his arc is going anymore.
I don't either. I feel like they're going to keep him around just to remind us how sad he is.
Yeah.
Just to be Game of Thrones and be like sad about shit. Here's Reek.
Is there a way he can redeem himself at this point?
No, I don't think so.
Like, can he like jump off a ledge and like stab the fuck out of Cersei last minute?
We have seen so many times how broken he is.
Yeah.
I think this was like the culmination of you thought he was redeemed. Just kidding. He's still real broken. Like enough to the point that he just is going to let his sister die.
Yeah. Real bummer.
Damn. Well, are you happy about Arya's choice to go north from Terry?
We kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, because team up. Oh, Sansa and Arya. Yes.
Although this is going to be a fascinating scene because Sansa and Arya, when they last met and were little girls, fucking hated each other.
Yeah.
Like fucking hated each other. I'm sure there's going to be a moment of, oh my God, I'm so excited to see you. Also, I still kind of hate you.
Yeah, they're so different now, too.
But maybe Arya could be like, you know, those people who killed like our family, like in the Red Wedding. They'll probably call it that. But
you don't think Sansa's still gonna be like, you killed my wolf, motherfucker?
That seems so long ago.
Who knows? I think it'll be a very interesting scene regardless. I'm sure that they're both very different people now.
What if Arya and Sansa team back up? Sansa has Arya kill Littlefinger and use her magic face powers to be Littlefinger.
That would be fascinating, and I like it. DJ, you're hired. Please write for this show.
Yay! Run in quick because I think they're almost done. And then we have another tweet here from Kindle V at Kindle Marie. With Dany splitting everyone up and one party is already being attacked, who is left in Dragonstone to protect her besides the dragons?
I mean, that's a great point.
Tyrion.
Tyrion has killed a couple people.
Yeah.
If she sends the Dothraki and the Unsullied to Casterly
Where are
Rock.
they? Where are they right now?
They're chilling.
They're
They're chilling. Okay.
Same with the dragons.
Because I was like looking around, I'm like, I don't see anyone that looks like a Dothraki.
Well, they don't.
Oh yeah, I know that.
They don't like to be indoors necessarily, so I'm sure they've like set up camp outside.
But they also don't like to travel across the water unless
But they did.
They did. Yeah, I was like,
that's a big, like, when people are like, she got the Dothraki to come across the sea.
Yeah,
Like, that's a big nod to
Dany. Someone like, hey, to Charlie, he's like, hey, the Dothraki are over here now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad this person is.
Yeah.
Interesting. Great.
You know, the Dothraki just rape and pillage. I mean, also true.
Also not wrong. Yeah,
they're not. I mean, they look really cool and they seem pretty cool, but they don't seem like good people.
Yeah.
I mean, again, and I'm gonna stop saying it, but again, there's a really fantastic scene in the first book to really just show you who the Dothraki people are.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a very bad way,
Yeah.
but then it's kind of redeemable because it's Game of Thrones where good and bad are very mixed and everything's very gray. It's really cool. That's all I'll say. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm speaking of very cool, I'm very on board with what they're doing this season.
I think I'm having a great time watching it. I know very little of what is happening.
A lot of people were saying that last night was really slow and like not a lot of payoff. And I disagree. I think that there was some really good setup. Like you said, it was a good payoff for people who've done their homework.
Yeah.
Like a good reward for that.
Yeah.
I think that we're getting there, and I don't think that this was one of those episodes that you're like, well, I had to sit through this episode because good stuff's going to happen later.
Yeah.
I thought this was great.
I feel like, and this is a little mean, I think, but I feel like if you're watching the show for stuff like Battle of the Bastards or Hardhome, you're doing it wrong. Like that's great.
No TV network has the money to do that.
Yeah, but it's like that's the icing to the cake, and I really like the cake. I really like what the bulk of this series is, and I feel like the show is finally getting kind of back to that.
Yeah.
Because again, stuff like where Cersei's telling facts about Dany, but from her perspective, they're a very negative thing. And it's like, that's stuff that the show does really, really well.
Yes.
So I'm glad we're back there.
Well, really cool. Guys, any final thoughts about episode 2, season 7 of Game of Thrones? You guys excited? What are you most excited for in episode 3?
I don't watch the coming.
Me neither, so I have no idea what's happening.
I'm excited to see Dany and Jon meet.
Dany and Jon, I'm excited to see how or if they even reveal who Jon's parents are and how he and Dany are related. Because who knows that besides Bran?
Bran's the only one. But
is he the only one? Does Tyrion know? Does Varys know?
He should be showing up soon. Bran should be showing up at Winterfell soon. I wonder if he shows up at the same time as Arya.
He's at the Wall.
Yeah, he showed up at the Wall, so now he's got to get down to Winterfell.
Is that where he's going?
I would hope so.
I don't remember him saying if that was where he was going, but
I
anyway.
don't know where else he would go.
Yeah, we might have Starks convening up north.
Yeah.
We definitely have the Dragon Storm meetup, you know, like that. I don't know. I think Varys might know about Jon's parentage. He knows everything.
But Bran knows.
Bran knows.
But you didn't see when he found out about it because he's a child. You didn't see that the audience didn't see when he found out.
Last season, he's got.
I mean, he's got his powers, but
that's how he finds out.
The audience didn't see how he found out.
No.
Oh, okay.
We do.
So you know who his parents are?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Okay. I'll figure it out. But guys, that was awesome. Thank you so much for watching our review show for Game of Thrones. I can't wait to finish season 1 and season 2 by next episode.
Week. You've got some work cut out for you.
I found out the fast forward button on this, so I'll have to watch a couple episodes on double speed. Also, so the show may be a little slightly more enjoyable for me. But let me know what you guys, or let us know on Twitter at that girl Trish.
At that girl Trish with no I in the girl.
And
DJ talks trash everywhere that matters.
At Sam Basher. Thank you so much for contributing to our Patreon. We also have a bunch of other fun perks you should check out, because this week we're also doing movie night and our Google Hangouts, which are going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to put out a poll either later today or tomorrow. One of the movies on the poll will definitely be Spawn. And so
there it is.
Every time I throw out a suggestion for a movie, they never vote for it. Blank check. Put that out there. Nobody wanted it. We watched Catwoman instead.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. And